welcome back, guys. Gamer Dude Tech Dude coming back at you live streaming. I'm about to do a review on a product I got from Amazon on the new D-Link Wi-Fi AC1900 mesh router. So stay tuned for that. And before we start, please like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon so when I go live, you would be notified. Okay, let's get right down to it. I just got the brand new AC1900 mesh Wi-Fi router. The interesting about this device is it can be used as a router or a repeater. Yes, folks, you can use it for either or. For an example, if you have your own router, you can use this as a mesh and you'll be able to extend your Wi-Fi signal from one point of origin into another point in your house. If you don't have a router that you own, then you will have to have two of these in order for the mesh to work. So keep that in mind. You need two of them for the mesh to work if you do not have an existing router. This setup is very simple and pretty much straightforward. You install an app on your phone and it's good to go from there. The app is very simple. It's not that hard to use. And it's really easy as it walks you through and it guides you. You basically log in to your existing Wi-Fi router and it pulls in the signal that way. Bear in mind this does not speed up your excuse me, it does not speed up your internet speed by any means. All this does is give you a better range signal through your house, depending excuse me gives you a better signal throughout your house on your Wi-Fi devices. So if you have a two-story house, you put it in the middle, which is what is suggested. You do not want to keep this anywhere near the router. You want to try to place it somewhere basically in the middle of the point of origin so that it reaches all your other devices. Does it work? Yes, I can vouch for that this device works, and it does a very good job at that. D-Link has been around for quite some time. It's been around just as long as Netgear and Linksys, which are the two top networking devices that are out there, the two manufacturers. D-Link is no exception. D-Link has had a really good reputation with their products. I am very happy with this. The setup was initially simple. It only took a matter of maybe 10-15 minutes to set up, and it was pretty much straightforward. There's not much you have to do. Just bear in mind that you will need your Wi-Fi password to log in, and that is pretty much it. And of course, it works both on the 2.4 and the 5G band, so that won't be a problem with your devices that are running 2.4G or 5G. Now, the reason why I said this works, because I have other devices in other rooms, and occasionally they used to drop. Whether it be on the 2.4 or the 5 gigahertz band, those devices in the other rooms that I have, it would just drop. So it was really a no-brainer for me to get this and to test it out. I've been testing this out for about 2.5 weeks now, somewhere like that, and I have not had any drops in my LAN at all. If anything goes down, it's my internet, and it's not the fault of the router, nor is the fault of the mesh router. The very cool thing about this is it works as a router with some very nice features on it. It's got the features that you would expect from any router. It has 4 ports, 4 Ethernet ports on the back, and it's also got the WAN ports so that you can plug it into a cable modem if you have a cable internet. Just like I said, it's really sleek It's sleek design. It's not too big and bulky, and you can pretty much set it anywhere you want. That's the cool thing about it. And it is an AC1900. While it may not be the fastest router out there, AC1900 is fast enough, especially for Wi-Fi. And let's face it, Wi-Fi is not the greatest thing out there, at least not yet. So AC1900 works perfectly for me. Just about all my devices in my house are AC1900. I mean, I've had AC3200, on up, and I really don't see a difference. And really, it really depends, and it boils down to how good your Wi-Fi signals are. And that's where a mesh router comes in. If I do notice any kind of speed increase, it's due to the fact that I'm getting a better signal. I have noticed in a couple of devices, but also keep in mind is where you have your devices at. If you're near a thick wall or any other devices like microwaves and whatnot, and you're going through a thick door or a wall, keep that in mind. The signal might not go through. And this also depends the location of your Wi-Fi adapters. So keep that in mind. So you're not going to see that much of a speed improvement. If you do see a speed improvement, it's due to the fact that you get a good signal. For an example, I have a 200 megabit from Spectrum, and a lot of my devices I get around 210, 220. On some other devices, I may only reach maybe 124 to up to 150. So you can kind of see, where that all comes into play. And what makes that really nice is that the mesh router really does help. Now, while you may not see a speed increase on those devices, that does not necessarily mean that the mesh router is not working. In fact, it is working. It's keeping your connection more stable. Now, I've tested this, with browsing. I've tested it with gaming, and I've had absolutely no lag on my Wi-Fi LAN at all. Now, of course, your best bet out there, and still to this day, and every person knows that Ethernet is the best route to go. Having your equipment wired, you're going to get the best performance. But if you're like me and a lot of your devices, you can't, wire a 30-foot cord from one end of the house to the other. Wi-Fi, you may not have a choice. But then again, it all depends whether or not you want to run, Ethernet cable from one end of the house to the other. So it really just depends. Me, I've been quite happy with the Wi-Fi. I've used both Ethernet and Wi-Fi, and I play games. I stream movies through a Plex server, and I also use Netflix and whatnot on all these devices, and I could not be more happier. My connection is really stable for the most part. Like right now, I'm doing this video. I'm completely in the other side of the house, in my room, with the door shut, and I'm still getting a pretty decent signal. So that is pretty decent, and I cannot say enough about this this router. It's a really good router. Like I said, D-Link may not be the top of the line as far as Netgear and Linksys, but I put them right up there at the top. They've had a really good name for themselves. They've established themselves, and I really think that they're a good product. I really do. So I really don't have any cons about this product. It has, like I said, it has everything that you would expect from any kind of a router. Yeah, it has the ability to do the UPnP handshaking, PNP with all devices, and it also has the special media for doing videos and stuff and whatnot, so you don't get any stuttering. I forgot what they call that. I don't really remember. I have to look that up again. So keep that in mind, that this is a really, really good router. Just keep in mind that in order for the mesh system to work, you need a router. If you don't have a router, then you're going to need 2 of these to get the mesh to work. And make sure that when you set up this, that you're going to basically put the one mesh router on one side of the house, preferably in the middle. That is so that the signal will get to the other devices. Now keep that in mind, because when you put the mesh router in the middle, think of it as a huge range, like a huge circle. Think of this big bubble that's above your mesh router, and you're reaching out to all your devices on the Wi-Fi. It's going to grab the signal from your primary router, and it's going to daisy chain it to the mesh router, and then it's going to spit out the signal from the mesh router to the other devices throughout your house. So this is really good for, going through walls and stuff like that. It does a really good job. I have no complaints using this at all. Like I said, I've had it for a couple weeks now, and I couldn't be more happier. When I first heard about mesh routers, I wasn't really sure about them. I was like, well, is it a hoax? Do they really work? And after, digging deep and finding out what they really do, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. Right now, it retails for around $99 to $129. And I highly suggest it if you live in a big house, whether it's long or if it's a two-story house, and you want to reach your other devices, laptops, computers that are on Wi-Fi, and you don't really have, or you really don't feel like running a 30 or 40 foot Ethernet cable from the router to the other side of the room, and you really want to be able to get a good signal. Hi Valerie, how you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, just keep that in mind, people, that mesh really works. Like I said, I was very, very doubtful that this device would even work. And to even think that I'm getting a really decent signal, I was very skeptical about it. I was skeptical about repeaters in the first place. I really didn't think that repeaters could really do that good of a job. But when I found out that this was mesh included along with the repeater, I was like, wow, this is something worth checking into. And I really highly recommend it. And of course, I'll be posting this video up on Amazon as where I bought it. And like I said, yeah, I can't be more happier. Now, again, I can't stress to you guys, this is the third time I've said it, this is in no way going to speed up your internet. All this is going to do is give you a better range, a better signal for your devices that are really hard to reach, that are in your home, and you're going through a thick wall, a thick door, or you're going through you have microwaves, and you got a lot of other obstacles, other electronics that could possibly, like wireless phones and stuff like that. Not cell phones, but your old-fashioned 2.4 gigahertz phones. Well, yeah, those interfere as well. So keep that in mind. If you do notice any kind of a speed increase, you're going to get a speed increase, from getting a good signal, like I did. Like I said, I have a PC that's in a corner, and it's sitting right between two walls and a really thick door, and I could barely reach. And remember, on a 2 megabit connection, so I could barely get to 110, maybe 112, 115 megabits per second. Well, when I added this mesh router, I'm getting anywhere from 140 to 150. So that's a big jump. That's a big, huge increase. So now that's not because of getting better speeds. That's because I'm getting a better signal. And my internet goes to 200 megabits, so I'm getting 150. So that's about 75% that I'm getting from Spectrum. So I just wanted to put this review out there. I've been testing it, been playing along with it. Now I have not tried this on a router side of things, because I already have a router. So basically I'm using the router and I'm using the mesh as a repeater. Basically, when you set it up at the very beginning, it will ask you if you want to use it as a router or if you want to use it as a repeater. So that's very important. And remember, if you do not have a router, and this is the only one that you have, and you want the mesh to work, again, you're going to need 2 of these devices for the mesh to work. That's just how it works. If you already have a router, and I don't see why you wouldn't, usually your cable companies usually give you one, or you lease it or whatnot. If you already have a router already, then you're all set. You just basically connect this mesh router to your existing router in your home, and you get them to communicate. And remember, you want to put this mesh router somewhere in between, not too close and not too far away. Like I would say in the middle of your home, so that you can reach, because remember, you're sending the signal, you're basically piggybacking. You're taking the signal from the router and you're sending the signal to your mesh, which could be a few feet away, and that mesh is sending it out to your other devices. Now just put that in perspective for a second. If you just had a router and that's all you had, and say you live in a 2-story house and your router is say in a closet, hopefully it isn't, but let's just say your router is on the other side of the room, and then upstairs you have your PC or your laptop. Well, just think of the signal is going to degrade itself as you're going upstairs, and you're going through all those walls, and not to mention all the other electronics that you have through your home. So it really makes sense to have a mesh router somewhere in between, so that the signal piggybacks from that router over to the mesh and sends it up to your upstairs, to your laptop. So keep that in mind. Like I said, I really, really highly recommend this. As soon as I'm done doing this video, I will be sure to put links down in my show notes down below in the description. So don't forget to check that out. They'll have a complete link to it. And also, I will be posting this up on Amazon in the review section, as you know, when I bought the device. Generally, when I get something from Amazon and I do a review, I usually like to test it out for a week or so to see if I'm really going to like it, and if it's something that, you know, people are going to want, and, you know, if it all plays out, then hopefully you guys will, you know, enjoy it like I do. And, you know, because this channel is basically for me to help you guys out. So you let me do all the testing, and, you know, you listen to my videos and you take it on from there. And hopefully, you know, that I will make that decision a lot easier for you. So keep that in mind. All right, folks. In the meantime, look out for more of my reviews. I will be doing another review on the NVIDIA Shield. I've been playing a lot with that. I really, really love that device. I already did a review on it. It's already got 108 views within 3 weeks. That is pretty badass. Within 3 weeks. No likes. I don't have any likes yet. Not too many subscribers, but, you know, 108 reviews within 3 weeks, and I've already got that much just from doing you know, a video about the NVIDIA Shield. I know, right? That's just unbelievable. It's a very popular device. It's an Android box, basically. Think of it as the Roku box, or Amazon Fire TV Cube, or Fire Stick. Only this is just like, it's basically Android on steroids. Super, super fast device. You can pretty much play any game on it, PC game on it. Think of it as a really fast PC gaming device, or think of it as a console. Think of it as like a, you know, PS4, PS5, Xbox. It's you know, it's badass. So I will be doing a second review on that, of what I think about the product, and I will be going more in depth, you know, about that. My last review was pretty much about setting up my Plex server and using the SSD external drive to store my music and my videos on it, and basically using it as a NAS drive, which is a network attached storage device, which are very expensive, by the way. Basically, when you use this NVIDIA Shield, you're basically using it as a NAS, because your TVs, your devices are all able to access this one device. So essentially, it's just like having a NAS. And of course, you know, I don't know if you guys heard about the Plex servers, doing DOS attacks to people. That's insane. And basically it's open protocol over the network, and somehow hackers are using the Plex NAS devices, like I was just talking about, to basically flood people's systems. And what I mean by flood is you're sending massive packets to basically a destination. Say, for an example, another computer. And I just keep sending mass packets over the network. And I just keep pounding and pounding and pounding on it, and just over and over. What do you think that's going to do to that person's computer? It's either going to crash it, or it's just going to cause it to run very, very slow over the network. So that's basically what they're doing. Hopefully Plex will be able to fix that soon, because and it's not Plex's fault, really. It's not really their fault. They didn't know. It's these stupid hackers that get out there and they find these little back doors, and they use rootkits and tools to basically puncture holes in the network and to find out ways that they can, cause damage. Yeah, they usually don't hurt anything, and they usually don't come after small consumers like us. They go after like the big companies, the big corporates. That's who they go after. They're not going to come after people like us that are just, basically running servers or whatever. they're after the big boys. They're after like Microsoft. They're after, Sony, all the big corporates. That's who they go after. So, and they're not really hackers. They're script kiddies, okay? That's all they are. Just because you can script doesn't mean that's hacking. It's not really hacking at all. All you're doing is sending mass packets to another server or another device, and you're knocking it offline. Ooh, big whoopity-doo. It's like, you call yourself a hacker? Back in the days, in the 80s and 90s, when I was growing up, those were hackers. You actually break into a system and you actually hack passwords and get into some kind of a computer. But all that's changed now. All that's changed now due to the fact that we always have Big Brother watching, and it's a lot easier to catch people. So it's, everything's automated these days. Security has gotten, that's not even a word. Security has gotten, tightened over the years. And a lot of these big time hackers, they go and join up with a big company, and they use their skills to, their abilities to protect these big companies. And now you got hackers going after the hackers. So it's not like it used to be. Back in the day, nothing was locked down. Pretty much everything was a wide, open network. When the internet was first born, a lot has changed over the years. It's kind of sad in a way. I mean, because the internet should be free. It shouldn't be commercialized like it is. And that's how it is. Today, the internet is so commercialized, and it's to the point where you can't even say anything. You can't even do anything, which is really sad. I mean, here we have all the social media. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have, what else? YouTube and Twitch. And it's getting to the point where there's no more freedom of speech. I've noticed this with Twitch. A lot of people got banned for the things they have said and for the things they have posted. And now YouTube is doing it. YouTube is going after streamers like me that think that because we say something about pirate stuff, and what I mean by pirating stuff is stuff like software or, stuff like that, or movies, and giving out links where people can get free stuff. So now YouTube is censoring all this and is now banning a lot of my friends just because they mention a website where you can get free stuff. So a lot of them had to reword what they say and how they say it, which is quite sad. And YouTube never used to be like that. Never. It was kind of like an open source, an open network. But I'll tell you why it got like that. I'll explain why. Because these big corporates use YouTube, let's face it, to sell their products. So they don't want anything negative. Even if their software or their hardware sucked ass, They don't want any negative reviews about it. You know, they would rather sell you a shitty product than somebody like me to come out here and tell you where to get free stuff for their shitty product in the first place and get myself banned in the process. You know, and it's getting to the point that we can't say anything out there in the open air, in the open airwaves. And let's face it, the reason why I do videos like this, or any of my friends do videos like this, is to get the truth out there. Because let's face it, you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a device where it's going to be a shitty product. You know? And it's crazy to think that, you know, we got Big Brother watching, we got, you know, all these people watching us. You got the DMCA. The DMCA plays a big part in the movie industry. And you got the RIAA, which is the recording industry, which basically started in the Napster days. So now it's getting to the point we can't even, you know, put music in our videos anymore because we'll get red flagged. You know, if I was to put, you know, any kind of copyrighted material on my videos right now, oh, YouTube would be they would jump right on to take my video down and give me what I think a first strike. I think if you get 3 strikes, you're banned. And another sad thing is, I know a lot of streamers out there that go to Disneyland or go to Walt Disney World, and take the Tiki Room for an example, which I think this is just ridiculous, because the way I see it, Disney isn't going to make a big, they're not going to give a shit if we go in there and take videos. Hell, it's free advertising for them. But because YouTube is a bunch of tight ass wads, and they don't like any copyrighted material on it, which I think is bullshit, they're going to give us a strike. That's why, you know, you see people like a couple of my friends that stream in Walt Disney World, you never see them going on the Tiki Room. Oh, it's considered copyrighted material. Well, technically, isn't everything at Disneyland copyrighted material? Let's think about that for a second. Everything that they play, all the music that they play in the parades, and all the music they play in the different buildings and stuff, isn't that copyrighted material? And what about the pictures that we record? Isn't that copyrighted material? When we see Mickey walking down the main street or dressed like Mickey, isn't that copyrighted material? I mean, come on. It's these are just one of those things that gets underneath my skin. And this is what I mean by, this is what happens when you allow these big corporates to come in and to do whatever the fuck they want. And this is exactly why me and a lot of other older people from back in the day, we were totally against it. We knew that this was going to change. We knew this like 20 years ago. We knew this 20 years ago, people, that the internet was going to be one day destroyed by all these big corporates. Too much control, basically. I mean, look at the kid, that one kid, I can't remember his name. He did a Twitch stream along with his dad. Of course, you know, we found out that it was all set up that way, though. But that was another story. But there's a lot of people on Twitch that got banned. I got a warning. I was playing Call of Duty one day, and I was playing my own music from my own playlist. I get a message from Twitch saying, "Oh, well, we noticed some copyrighted material, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. So now we have to play some honky-tonk, old-ass freaking music we never heard of and use some shady crap. It just, oh my God, I'm sorry, people, it just really gets underneath my skin right now. It just really pisses me off. I mean, I get the whole copyright thing. I get it. You know, but when you go into a place like Disneyland or you go into Walt Disney World, what does it matter? And I'm sure that if you walk up, I'm almost 100% positive, if you go to the park operator and say, "Hey, I'm going to be recording your park today. Do you mind?" You know, basically you're asking for permission, you know, to record, you know, his park. You know what he's going to say? He's going to be like, "Oh yeah, sure, go right ahead. It's publicity for us. Heck, we don't care. It's advertisement." Let's face it, that's why they do it. That's why they allow us to walk in the parks and record everything, for Christ's sake. So come on, give me a break. And then you got the YouTube coming back and saying, oh, you can't record Tiki Room. Oh my God. And the funny thing is, I remember a year or two ago, I was just doing some searches. I was looking up Disney stuff, and that is one of my favorite things to do. And I looked up Tiki Room, and all these videos existed, every one of them. And another thing, a most recent thing, I did a bunch of DJ stuff. I have three mixes that I did on my own, right? This was done about a year and a half ago. YouTube sends me a message and says, oh, well, you can't use that. That's copyrighted material. And I came back and I says, how is it copyrighted material when I'm changing it up and mixing it and stuff, and I'm giving the people credit for using their music? And I says, other DJs are doing the same thing. Other DJs on your network, on YouTube, are doing the same thing with the same type of music. So are you just going to do this to me, or are you going to do it to all million people that are doing it out there? So guess what? Those 3 videos are still in my list. If you go to my videos and scroll down to the very bottom, I've got 3 of them that I did. I haven't touched it ever since. Because I don't want to get a strike against me for something so stupid. Sorry guys, I'm sorry to go on about a rant about that, but it just makes me mad. And for the shitty products that they sell sometimes, I'm going to be blunt. Their software deserves to be pirated, people. Especially Streamlabs. Now, I don't have to tell you how pissed off I'm at that stupid program. I don't know if it was Pat or Tom. One of them got pissed off the other day. I think it was Pat. A couple days ago, he did a stream, and the thing crashed on him. And he didn't believe me at first, which was kind of crazy. He didn't think that there was a problem with it. And I was telling him, I says, dude, the program's trash. It has been ever since it went from free to a subscription. I forget how much it is, but they charge for a monthly fee, and if you want, you can pay for an annual fee. And it's just ridiculous. And these are things that I get on Prism for free, but I got to pay for it with Streamlabs. Oh, by the way, before I go, Prism came out with an update today, people. Make sure you grab it. They did mention that you can do certain different kinds of scheduling. Now, I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm assuming that a lot of people were complaining about the backup that everybody's been talking about. If our stream crashes or something happens to it, how we can continue on that stream. But I think they fixed that, and hopefully they did. I will check that out as soon as I get done with this this mini rant / review. Well, anyways, I know this review was done about the mesh router. Check it out, people. You won't be disappointed. It's a really good product. I believe it retails for $100. So if you're looking into get a mesh system for your house, I would look no further. It's quite reasonable. They do have Arrow. They do have, I forget some of the other brands. I know Netgear does one. Linksys does one. That can get kind of costly because basically when you buy Arrow, you get like one router and you get like 3 little small satellite mesh routers that you put it through your house. Although it depends how big the house is. Like if you want to have, Wi-Fi in your garage and you want to have Wi-Fi upstairs, then obviously you're going to want, the router plus 2 devices. So, but this is a really reasonable product. I've seen them, go for $200, $300 for a full mesh system. So you can actually buy 2 of these for like $200. If you wanted a router and you needed one and you wanted a mesh. And again, you really don't need to do that if you already have a router in your house. And the nice thing is you can use this as a router or a repeater. So you can use it for either or. So keep that in mind. It's really cool. Check it out. Again, I will leave a description in my show notes in the comments below in the description. So be sure to check that out. And I think I did I don't know if I did. I have to look that up. I thought I did a review on it. I don't remember a written review. If I haven't, I will be sure to post this video with the written review on there on Amazon's website. So be sure to check that out. Yes, I do have a reviewer Amazon page. I haven't posted that up yet, but I've got quite a bit of hits on there, so which is kind of cool. So, and I do belong to Vine, Amazon Vine, which you can get free stuff from Amazon, and basically what they expect in return is you doing a review on their products. It's really hard to get in with the Amazon Vine program. It's kind of cool because you get to kind of test out new products and new devices and stuff. So I've been doing that for about 6-7 months, not quite a year yet. I will have to go more in detail about that. I should do another video about the Vine program, but it's really hard to get in that. You really got to be selected by Amazon. They're the only ones that can do it. So if you want to get on the Vine program, only Amazon can allow you in. So it's kind of cool though, because I've tested out many products ranging from keyboards to mouse to small little devices and stuff, and so there you have it. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this show. I've been wanting to do a review on this product, and again, I will post the show notes as soon as I'm done, so you can go check it out for yourself. I really highly recommend it, especially if you live in a big house and you want to have all your different Wi-Fi devices, not disconnecting so much, and being able to, keep a stable connection basically. Like I said, it helped me out, and I'm in the corner of my house in my room with the door shut, so I mean, so it gets, my signal is still here. Plus I have an Amazon Echo in my room, and that's connected to the via Wi-Fi. So alright folks, well, thank you for watching this. I hope you have a wonderful night, and take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now, and take care. Bye Valerie, take care. I'll see you soon.